You can see him standing on the sidewalk next to the ICE building. And then, boom, you see what appears to be a federal employee slam him to the ground.
And that protester is now suing the federal government. We'll get to that in a second, but first, this is the Portland Federal Building, where protesters and federal agents have been clashing every single night, 24/7, for 4 months in a row now.
I did not even come on the driveway at all at any point tonight. I walked away as soon as they started putting gas masks on. I was over by the school.
So according to the protester, he's done nothing wrong. According to Homeland Security, that man has used fake blood before to intensify injuries. So we have a lot to cover in this video. Now before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. This story is so underreported. People need to know what's going on in Portland. And if you haven't already, make sure to please sign up for my free newsletter. You can use the QR code or go to the link in my description or comments. It's all totally free.
This case is kind of a bad case of deja vu. We saw it right here 5 years ago.
New at 11 tonight, we're hearing from a lawyer representing a protester who claims he was battered and assaulted by Department of Homeland Security personnel outside the ICE building in South Portland. That lawyer says they intend to sue the federal government.
Okay, so if you are new here, there's really one really big golden rule for the federal agents and the protesters. Get out of the driveway. Otherwise, you could be arrested, you will be pepper sprayed, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to happen. And for those of you that are subscribed to my channel, I know you understand, when it comes to the driveway, that is a sacred spot for the federal agents. That is the only entrance they have into the building, so they don't want any protesters in the area. Now that we have that established, let's go ahead and look into what is going on here.
According to our video source, this was taken on June 13th, right outside the ICE facility in South Portland. Look at the guy in the rainbow-colored shirt. That's Darren Herzberg. You can see him standing on the sidewalk next to the ICE building. And then, boom, you see what appears to be a federal employee slam him to the ground. Then others come in and drag him. You see Herzberg getting pummeled. Then you see what appears to be a cloud of gas.
Okay, so remember, the accusation was he was standing on the sidewalk, he was not standing in the driveway. However, when I watched another video, I noticed something a little different. This is from another news source. There's not going to be any audio, but notice this little pillar right here. Notice what's on that pillar. This news station did not use any audio, but I did notice right here, he's actually putting his hands and some sort of equipment, something that belongs to him, on this pillar. That is federal property. It might not be the driveway, and maybe he took like a step into the driveway, but as of right now, he is currently committing a federal crime. This is technically trespass, but let's go ahead and play this clip. Again, he's standing there, and this is federal trespass. We can talk about whether the agents use too much violence. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I do find it interesting. They don't have audio here, and they are telling him, you need to back away, you need to back away. This was actually verified by that protester, and we know he was told to back away because, once again, that is the protocol. That is what they're yelling from the top of the federal building. They only leave that building once they give an initial warning. So again, you scroll down here, stuff is still on the federal property, and they're being told you guys have to back away. Now, I am not accusing this news station of trying to cover that part up, but when the video starts, the little bottom thing pops up real quick, and you can't see what's on the pillar. Let me just show you in real time.
According to our video source, this...
So if you don't know what you're looking at and you haven't been following this story, of course it looks like he's just on the sidewalk. And look, I have no problem in calling out the federal agents if he did not commit a crime or didn't do anything wrong. But again, right before this little red thing pops up,
We're hearing from a lawyer
according to...
right there.
I hope a good one.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! That's back up!
This is our amendment right. Whoa. He does not need to be tackled like that. He is a veteran of this country. What the f is wrong with you?
I forgot to mention he is a Marine Corps veteran, but here is what Homeland Security has to say. This is why, according to them, they did what they did. The person behind this claim is well known for acts of violence outside of the ICE facility in Portland, including throwing rocks and other objects at the building and personnel, agitating the rioters into violent actions, shouting inappropriate phrases and yelling at the officers, assaulting officers, refusing to obey commands, and resisting arrest. Furthermore, he has used fake blood to falsify injuries. He has repeatedly perpetrated and encouraged violence against the brave men and women of Homeland Security or the people in the building. So here's the thing. Homeland Security, they are watching everything 24/7, and also they are watching videos like mine, all of the TikToks of all of those protesters. They have a lot more intelligence than we know. Like, they are watching everything. So, a friend of the channel, Honey Badger Mom, go follow her, go support her on X. She is an awesome journalist. She has been attacked by some of these protesters. She has actually captured this footage for me and you. She reminded me this is how he can sometimes act in front of the federal building. Again, verifying some of these claims that the Homeland Security agents have made against this man.
Pathetic. You're a disgrace to this country.
She's a
I'm
journalist.
sorry to say that I served along with
How
those
dare
people
you
like
for
you.
assuming my gender? How dare you?
What? No, I said those two are journalists. What are you talking about? These two are journalists. I'm not a journalist.
You're a shame. It's
What's
a shame.
up, Daytona? What's up, Daytona?
Mind you, by the way, all these people are breaking a federal crime right here, standing on the driveway. Again, I can assure you, federal agents, they know who everybody here is. They know every single person. They know who they are. They know where they work. They know what they're doing here. Again, this person could be arrested for trespassing. So I'm actually a little shocked that this protester wants to pursue charges, because he's going to have to face the reality that all of these videos are going to come out.
You're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side. You should be out here with us.
They're not on any side.
Clearly they're on a
They're
side.
leaving me. They're leaving me.
Listen, I know that you got a cap on and you can't understand this shit, but we know what the they're doing.
Okay, and he is talking to the other journalists who are trying to cover what's going on here.
What are they doing?
No talent.
Okay, so another friend of the channel, Ryan, go follow him on X, go support him. He actually filmed what happened when he was released from the federal building. This is what the Marine veteran has to say. This is his side of the story as to why he was tackled. Let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering how all of these other people are allowed to be on the federal property, it used to be you could walk on the federal property and nothing really happens. Nowadays, absolutely zero tolerance. They don't care who you are. Even if you are pro-ICE, you could even be arrested. They're not messing around anymore. It used to be get out of the way of the driveway, but now it's like you can't even look or touch the federal property.
Yeah. So I'm gonna walk down a little ways because I don't need any more heat right now. Oh,
And again, this happened right after he was tackled or arrested.
it's them again. It's them again. You want to come out here? I'll talk to you.
Take this shit.
By the way, he's referring to it's them again because the journalists who've been covering this story for me and you, they are not liked. In fact, watch what you're about to see. As Ryan is about to document what's going on here, he's going to be blocked by another protester.
What's up?
Yeah. So.
I don't know if you heard that in the background. He said, haha, what'd they get you with this time? Again, this is showing another pattern of him being booked by the agents.
That was the second time it happened, right?
Oh, this is the second. The
I
first
saw
time
the
you might have
first
been
one you
out
got
here, they hit me
gang
pretty
tackled.
hard. Yeah, I'm all right. They did get me over. They told us to move away from the driveway.
I mean,
It's okay,
he's
I'm
in-
actually talking to him right now. It's all right. It's all right. Because I want his audience to know and see.
And just so you know, nowadays, it's not that peaceful. Nowadays, if you are a journalist and you go down to cover what's going on with these protesters, it doesn't end well for you. As I make this video right now, Ryan has first-degree burns on his neck for his coverage he did just last night. Make sure to please subscribe to my channel. I will keep you guys up to date with that. And also on the newsletter, I do want to update you guys on the newsletter. Make sure to go subscribe to that as well.
There are American veterans, United States Marine Corps veterans, who are standing up for our community. We do not have to capitulate to a fascist regime. And they're obviously afraid of what we have to say. Because what I was saying tonight, I did not even come on the driveway at all at any point tonight. I walked away as soon as they started putting gas masks on. I was over by the school. They came over, tackled my ass, pushed me on the ground, grabbed me by the hair, slamming my face in the ground, telling me you got anything else to say, mother? And then they're slapping me in the head. And then after hurting my shoulder 2 nights ago, they pegged my arms up and dragged me over here while holding me down and gas again. You know, it is a system of violence, and they do not like when we use our First Amendment rights to speak.
Hey, now one thing I will say, nowadays the federal agents, they do engage back with the protesters. In fact, the federal agents, they have gotten into trouble according to sources. They have used a Trump voice to tell people to back away. They've used an English lady's voice, and apparently they actually got in trouble for that, and they're not allowed to do things like that anymore. But the federal agents, we've seen it on my videos and the other journalists who help us out, you can sometimes hear the federal agents really start to chirp back at these protesters. Leave your comments down below how you feel about all of this so far.
Speak out against what they're doing.
Can you tell me, so the video from the other day, what led up to, because they came around you, they blindsided you.
Yeah, you see I was just standing there.
Yeah. What led up to that?
They didn't like me talking out there.
Okay.
They charged me with failing to comply with an order, despite the fact that I was no longer standing on the driveway.
And like I had showed you guys before, you could see in the non-audio news clip, I wonder why they didn't put the audio in there, you could see he was looking up and pointing to the other federal agents, but we do have third-party sources where he was being warned, you gotta back away. He's even verifying it, but we saw in the video, he had his stuff on the property of the federal property, and I think that's where he's getting in trouble.
That was what they ordered me to do, was to get off the driveway. So I was standing off the driveway so the vehicle could come through. And then they speared me from behind and held me down and gassed for 2 minutes. I had to hold my breath for 2 minutes. I was panicking.
Okay, so that's his side of the story. Make sure to please leave your comments down below how you feel about what he has to say in the situation. I do think he could have a case for the possibility of excessive force, but the problem that he's going to have is if he was warned and he has already clashed with the federal agents before, the federal agents have a ton of evidence, most likely, against this man and the other protesters involved. So anyone that he wants to pick as a witness, I guarantee the federal agents already know the name of that person. They have some sort of footage of that person. So I do think he's going to have a very hard time to fight his case in court. If he had any sort of argument whatsoever, because I'm trying to, really give the full perspective here, it has to be excessive violence. But outside of that, I don't know if he's going to win that at all.
Herzberg alleges there was another incident on the 16th. His attorney describes it in a letter to the Secretary of Homeland Security, saying in part, at least 4 federal employees tackled Mr. Herzberg to the ground. Once he was on the ground, a federal employee grabbed Mr. Herzberg by the hair and slammed his face into the ground multiple times. Herzberg sharing a message he has for the alleged federal employee.
I want to say specifically, ICE agent, you told me, remember? I remember your number. And I remember when you grabbed me by the hair and you slammed my face in the ground and you asked me, not talking anymore, are you? Well, I'm still talking. You can't keep us quiet, and you can't take away our First Amendment rights.
And again, I do want to remind you guys, according to Homeland Security, he has repeatedly perpetuated and encouraged violence against the brave men and women. So, look, Homeland Security, according to them, they have a ton of evidence against this man. According to the Marine veteran, he seems to be rather confident, along with his lawyer, that they could possibly win this case. Now, the bad side for the federal agents is this. They've already had a court case really not rule in their favor as far as getting any support. If you are unaware, if there is a loud noise complaint, a judge has ruled that the Portland police does not have to show up. They do not have to report in the area. So the point I'm trying to make is this could be perceived that the judges will rule in favor of the protesters or be a little more left-leaning in the policies, and this is something that the federal agents are already dealing with in court. Whenever these federal agents or Homeland Security is in court, they really have to make sure they have every single piece of evidence exactly line up in order for them to win their battles. Otherwise, they know what the stats are. They could lose this case.
Herzberg's legal team writes that he suffered $150,000 in personal injuries.
This case is about accountability. We hope to let these officers know that there will be a trial at the end of the road. It might be a bench trial, not a jury trial, but it will take place. They will be held accountable, and they will be asked to explain why they did what they did.
All right, so that's pretty much the story. If you haven't already, again, make sure to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to leave your comments down below. I'm really curious how you guys feel about this story. And please sign up for the very free newsletter. You can use the QR code, or I have a link in my description and the comments. Thank you guys so much for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later.